For years, viewers of Mountain Men admired Tom Orr as one of the last true symbols of old-school frontier living. A man who chose isolation in Montana's Yaak River Valley over the noise of modern society. So when news began circulating that Tom Orr was leaving the mountains, fans were stunned and emotional, wondering whether age, health, or changing times had finally forced the rugged outdoorsman to walk away from the wilderness lifestyle he had embraced for decades. Tom Orr, who once worked as a rodeo cowboy before settling into remote mountain life, built his reputation on self-reliant standing hides, trapping in harsh winters and living in near-total seclusion with his wife Nancy. Over time, however, reality set in. Living in the mountains is not just a romantic image of snowy cabins and peaceful forests. It is physically exhausting and often dangerous, especially as one grows older. Winters in Montana are unforgiving, with deep snow, extreme cold, and isolation that can quickly turn a minor problem into a life-threatening situation. As Tom aged into his 70s and beyond, the physical toll of hauling firewood, maintaining trap lines, and preparing for brutal winters became increasingly demanding. Reports and interviews over the years suggested that Tom and Nancy began considering a quieter chapter of life, one closer to family and medical care. Unlike dramatic headlines that imply conflict or scandal, the truth appears far more human and relatable. Aging changes priorities. After decades of living off-grid, Tom reportedly chose to spend more time in Florida, where conditions are milder and access to healthcare is easier. This decision was not a rejection of his mountain identity, but rather an adaptation to the natural realities of time. Fans often struggle with such changes because television can freeze a person in a particular era. Tom, the Mountain Man, eternally strong, endlessly capable. But real life does not stand still. On Mountain Men, Tom's segments consistently showed both the beauty and hardship of his environment. He was never portrayed as superhuman. Rather, he was depicted as someone who respected nature and understood its risks. Leaving the mountains, if anything, reflects the same practical wisdom he displayed on screen. Knowing when to push forward and when to step back is itself a survival skill. For Tom, the mountains were not just a backdrop, but a way of life built on discipline, resilience, and independence. Choosing to leave or spend less time there does not erase decades of commitment. It highlights the importance of recognizing personal limits. There has been no confirmed scandal, dramatic fallout, or hidden controversy behind his departure. Only the understandable decision of an aging outdoorsman seeking safety and family connection. In many ways, the emotional response from fans speaks to how deeply Tom resonated with audiences. He represented a fading American archetype, the solitary trapper who depends on skill rather than technology. Seeing him transition away from that lifestyle feels like watching the end of an era. Yet Tom Orr's legacy is not confined to geography. Whether in Montana's mountains or elsewhere, his story remains one of dedication to craftsmanship, respect for nature, and a refusal to conform to mainstream expectations. If he addressed the truth about leaving, it likely centered on practical concerns rather than dramatic revelation. Age, health, and the desire for comfort after a lifetime of hardship are powerful motivators. The mountains will always be part of his identity, but stepping away reflects wisdom, not weakness. The real truth is often simpler than rumors suggest. Even the toughest mountain men must eventually listen to their bodies and make choices that protect their well-being.